Well, summer is supposed to be a time of lazy days and relaxation, but that doesn't always happen quite the way we want. We've got Dr. Aimee Duffy here with ways to de-stress. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
So first, what's going on? It's summertime and stress. It happens this season too.
It happens a lot. There's so many reasons, and first up is travel, right? I mean, a lot of people are traveling in the summer, whether it's your beach trip, you know, going to visit family, friends, that sort of thing. So the travel that can really get frustrating for you is when you've got early morning flights, you've got the packing chaos. It can be fun, but it's also very stimulating. So I want to talk about some tips for that.
All right, so that's one of the things. You're excited about this big long trip. It's going to recharge you, but then like you say, you get caught up in the details, and before you know it, the amount of fun you had versus the amount of planning you went in is not the right
It's not
measure.
balancing. You feel like you need a vacation from your vacation, right? We feel that way sometimes when we get back. So the few trips is magnesium, we know, is really calming to your nervous system. So there's some ways that you can boost that. We made a little fun sort of trail mix that has some magnesium boosting things like pumpkin seeds, sunflower, dark chocolate. You're allowed to have that. Almonds, cashews. So if you can, you know, snack while you're traveling, whether it's a car ride or on the plane, have some good healthy snacks for that.
Okay, so healthy snacks will just keep you in a good mood. You know, you feel better about yourself. You feel better about everything. And then you talk about people who get to the trip and that fruity beach by the pool is calling their name, and it would be really easy to just lay around all day. What do you recommend instead?
And you know, we can indulge a little bit. What we need to do is make sure that we don't get dehydrated. So alcohol can be really dehydrating. It's going to crash your blood sugar. It's going to affect your sleep, which leads to all the excess stress. So some of the things we can do is make sure we're getting adequately hydrated. You may not realize if you're laying around that you're sweating more so, even though you may not be super active. So we're going to lose more electrolytes, particularly salt. So I made this fun mocktail in Mexico. It's called a suero, and suero is the same name for like when you get an IV for rehydration.
Okay, so what's in this?
So this is sparkling water that we added some fresh lime, and I just put a squirt of like a liquid stevia or liquid monk fruit, so safe or healthy or artificial sweeteners, and then you put some salt on the rim, just like your margarita, and it's awesome.
Well, shall we?
Let's take a sip.
This sounds wonderful.
I
Just
like the
something
salty
refreshing.
part. Yep.
Refreshing is good. And absolutely, mix this in throughout the day. You can be out in the heat, you can be out socializing, and you still have a fun beverage.
Yeah, it feels fun. And
it's all about holding something, and that's an excellent cup. So, all right, so the fun is underway. We're taking care of ourselves. We're hydrating. And then one thing that's really good at fueling stress is the summer treats that aren't so good for us. And what are some examples of things to stay away from?
Super easy to just throw in, you know, potato chips and all those snacky things, and then we're having like a barbecue. You've got all the sauces and the dips can have a lot of processed food, a lot of hidden sugars that you don't realize, like barbecue sauce and ketchup, full of sugar. So we want to try to, you know, put in some of the good snacks. We've talked about these before, but
and even though they're natural sugar, you know, that's you can have the fruit, you can have the things that kind of satisfy your craving for a sweet tooth, and you like these too for on the go.
I love the little grab and go snacks that give you some added protein. I think protein is really important. We can do a lot of carb loading and just lose sight of our protein. So, you know, healthy. I like the grass-fed meat sticks that don't have any artificial colors and chemicals and things in them. You know, cheese sticks, if you don't have a dairy issue, is great. And then if you've got a garden, so we got a couple things from our garden that I picked this morning, and then certainly filtering that in with some great colors.
And I got to say, this all looks great poolside too.
Absolutely.
Pull it right out of the fridge, serve it up. The long days, the busy nights of summer, though, what sometimes happens is you're supposed to be getting good sleep in the summer season, but then that's not happening either. You've got some advice.
Yep. So one is just try to prioritize sleep. I know it can be hard, but you know, we want to stay up late, and then I know when I go to the beach, I want the sunrise in the morning. So I literally set alarms for 5:30, 5:45 to get up, but we didn't go to bed till midnight the night before. So even if it's not sleep during the night, try to get some nap time in, and don't make it feel like it's a lazy thing to do. You know, it's really good for you to fuel and refresh.
Yeah, and you've got to take a nap. It's not a luxury. It's part of what keeps you operating.
Especially when you're traveling, like long road trips and stuff, it's hard to get good sleep. So I love this sleep mask. It's actually a light reducing sleep mask, so it hides the light because it really hugs your eyes.
So there's almost goggles in there for your eyes. And then is there audio that's happening?
Yep. So you can connect, it's got Bluetooth speakers, so you can listen to like your meditation, or I like to listen to an audiobook that's boring. And
nobody else in the room has to hear that sound machine.
So that's great. If you don't want to do that, get some of these. They're really inexpensive on Amazon, just really noise canceling earplugs that are comfortable. And they really do turn it off for somebody that might be snoring. If you're sharing a room with somebody that you normally don't, your kids, you know, and they're loud and they move all over the place, something like that. And then I love a lavender oil. So just a little, you know, rub on right here can just help with that calming.
I'm on vacation now.
Yeah. We're just breathing that lavender and it just cools everything down.
It really works, and it makes people, you know, when you take a deep breath and just relax for a moment, it works wonders. You also talk about one thing that we don't talk enough about is how we should be starting our days. You say that there's a nervous system reset we should be taking advantage of.
Yeah. You know, we wake up and it's so easy to wake up and immediately look at your phone. I mean, we're just in that habit these days. So, okay, but if we can start our day with something that gives us a little bit more grounding, if you can step outside, get a little bit of fresh air, get that early morning sun on your face, that's always good. If you're not able to do that, can we take a walk? Can we do some yoga? I think, especially in the summertime, as we have this stress, and because it's so hot, we want to, you know, a lot of people want to do these really intense exercises, and maybe it's time to kind of, you know, cool down a little bit. Just do some yoga, or just take a nice walk in nature.
Excellent. Well, we're ready to enjoy the season and take care of ourselves along the way. Lots of good tips.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Aimee
Cheers.
Duffy, thank you very much, and cheers to you. You can find Dr. Aimee Duffy at Carolina Integrative Medicine in Clemson. There is a link to learn more on accesscarolina.com.